Right, breakfast fried rice. This is known as Chǎofàn in Hong Kong, as we used to call it, and it really just means fried rice. And the first thing you'll need some rice. I've got some cold takeaway rice which I've got from the local Chinese takeaway, and I've allowed it to chill completely, and that's very important. You can't make fried rice properly with hot cooked rice. It needs to be chilled down. The choice of what goes in it is really up to you, but you need something aromatic. So I've got some spring onions which I've chopped up, and you'll need some vegetable items. I've chosen some frozen petit pois, which I have, which are just tiny frozen peas, and I have some chopped up baby plum tomato. I've got some, there's a cup full of each of these. I've got a cup full of chopped up chorizo sausage. You can use any kind of meat you like. You could use chicken, you can use pork, you can use bacon, and I've also got some the bacon element I've provided by using this pancetta, which is a smoked pancetta, which is really nice. I get that from my local Aldi. I've got a couple of eggs, because it will be an egg fried rice, and I've got my pan on the stove, so I'll show you this process. I'll get you closer in on the pan. Alright, into the pan goes a little cooking oil, and because the bacon is raw, I'm just going to throw that straight in. That'll be the first thing to cook, and get a quick turn on that. This all goes very quick in a very hot pan, because we are stir frying here, boys and girls. As soon as that starts to take on some cookness, in can go the chorizo. Chorizo is going to add colour to this, so it might not look like the Chǎofàn you get from your local takeaway, but I didn't have any Chinese sausage to hand. Right, the next thing I want to get into all that lovely cooking oil now is my rice, and the way we do this is to break it up as it goes in. That's the quickest way to get it done. It's probably slightly a bit overcooked, this rice, if anything, but it'll be fine. I like to get it nicely broken up. And then get that in, and then get a good turn and stir on that, push it down, get it in, and get it cooking. Now, make sure that your rice has been chilled and kept chilled, because rice has a lot of surface area which can be contaminated, and if it's left at room temperature for too long, the bacterial growth doubles every 20 minutes, so you've got to be very careful. Keep it, and don't keep it too long in the fridge either. So just remember that, boys and girls. If you're in any doubt, just stick it in the freezer. It's perfectly good to use it, thaw it out and use it like this when you need it. And I know fried rice is extremely popular in the West and is often eaten with Chinese food, but in China and in Hong Kong it's rarely eaten with their regular food, and it's nearly always eaten just as a recooked item for breakfast as leftovers. Another item that's eaten for breakfast in Hong Kong is they do this like ramen noodle, and they put a bit of fried spam and an egg on top of it, and that's a very popular roadside sort of cafe dish in Hong Kong, and it's really nice. Right, the position I'm in at the moment is I'm actually in the position to start adding in my peas. Now remember, they're frozen, so they're going to add a little bit of moisture to it. But we need to get that in till it starts frying again. You can already see it's starting to take on the look of a proper fried rice now. The other ingredient I didn't mention there was my soy sauce, which I tend to take for granted when I'm cooking Chinese food. This is kind of a Western breakfast, only more in the Chinese style, because I'm using bacon and eggs. But I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And now we've got there, we make a little well. And I'm going to whisk up the egg and drop that into that well. Don't waste it, get as much in as you can. And then we just need to start scrambling up those eggs in the pan. You don't need to use a separate pan. Do it right here in this pan. And they won't take long, just a few seconds. Keep them moving. Don't want them to stick to the bottom really. And then you can slowly start to incorporate the rice into it, or it into the rice, which is probably the better grammar. And that now begins to incorporate, and as the egg becomes more and more cooked, it will lift off the bottom a little more as well. Right, at this stage I'm going to throw in some tomatoes and half of my spring onions. Only half of the spring onions, because I'm going to keep the other half as a garnish right at the end for a little fresh kick. And in they go. And it's at this stage that I start to introduce the soy sauce, and you're going to need, I suppose I normally do it, I normally just wing it, but what I'll do is so what's that? That's a teaspoon and a couple of teaspoons at this point, and we'll see what that looks like. Wow, that smell is fantastic. That smell is awesome, boys and girls. And that is pretty soon. So that's another 2 teaspoons, and get that stirred in. And let's see what it looks like. Right, the next thing I want to do is give that a little taste. Okay, got my spoon. Let's get a little bite of everything. Oh, yum. That's really good. Okay, that's ready to go. Right, I'm just going to put a bit of black pepper into that, because I can. And that is ready to serve. So there you have it, beautiful, nice breakfast fried rice. I'm going to garnish that with loads of this lovely spring onion, because I can. And I like to just stir that in before I eat it, and it's really good. So there you go. Chǎofàn, fried rice. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to follow my channel, please subscribe, and be sure to click the bell icon to receive notification of all my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.